Hello there friends, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel for another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the brand new, or actually a couple of brand new products from Spellbinders that were just released today. We're taking a look at this Glimmering Peonies Glimmer and Stencil bundle. Yep, it's a bundle. And what's great about this is it's really designed for 5x7 cards. Obviously you could use it on a smaller card, an A2, but it's really designed for 5x7. It's really going to shine on there. And the stencil is 5 stencils. And like I said, works perfectly with 5x7. So we're going to foil that up today. We're also going to be using the curved everyday sentiments that comes with 2 plates and the dies to cut those out in a curved banner. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm trying to get used to the placement of my camera, and so I didn't do a very good job of showing the foiling. So I'm going to have, or just head on back to my channel if you're curious about foiling. Head on back to my channel. I have an entire playlist all on foiling. I just was embarrassed to say that I can't show this because it's all at the very bottom of my screen. Again, I'm trying to just play a little bit better with the placement of my camera right now, and I didn't do a very good job. So we're cutting down our foil. I'll tell you the foil we used, and it's the same process over and over for me as far as foiling goes. And then in this one, I'm die cutting out the sentiments. I love these little plates because the sentiment die just works so nicely with it. I did have a little overfoiling on this one, and so I'm just using a white eraser to wipe that away. And then we're going to pull in our tonic magnetic platform, and then we can tack that down with a little bit of mint tape. And then I'm going to grab the very first stencil from this bundle. Now, obviously, I did not put the glimmer plate on there perfectly square with the 5x7, so it's going to be tilted a little bit. I just have to be mindful when I am using ink colors or whatever I'm going to be blending over the top of that, just because it could go beyond that. I'm going to use a little bit of mint tape because this first stencil uses not only some petals, but it also uses some greenery, so I don't want that greenery to get covered in the yellow, even though it'd be easy to cover using some green. So we're going to mask that a tiny bit. And I'll make sure to put all of the colors, they're all going to be linked down below in the description box if you're curious about what colors I use. They're all from Simon Hurley Creates ink line, because you guys know I love that ink line. And that's our first stencil. So I'll clean that up after a bit, and we're going to move on to the second stencil. That's full on just petals, and they're very easy to line up. And I'm going to grab like a next darker color of yellow. You could stick with the same color the whole time if you wanted to, but I like the variation of the different yellows that I'm bringing in. It really adds a little bit of dimension, and it's kind of like eye candy, I guess. So I like how that looks. Bringing in that third stencil, that one has more petals, but it also has greenery, so I do have to be mindful once again of where the greenery is and where I am using my blending brushes. Tear this away a little bit and then cover up where we need to. And then I'll bring in the next darkest yellow that I plan to use. Now this one that I foiled with some polished brass using my hot foil plate by Spellbinders. And that polished brass is just so pretty. That's why I chose these yellow colors. I thought that would really pop with that. And I had no problem foiling it, just had to foil it once. And with foiling, I know some of you are still kind of new to it. You might have bought your machine, it's sitting on your floor, sitting on your desk or whatever, and it's been sitting there for a while. I'll be the first to tell you that was the case for me when I first started foiling. I bought the machine because I found it on a really good sale, and then it sat there for months before I even opened it up. There's that fear because it's something totally new. And I'll just say the more I did it, the easier it got. It's just one of those things, the more you practice, the more you get to know your machine, the easier it is. All right, this fourth stencil has some stems, and it also has the centers of our flowers, and I'm going to use a red color for the center of those. But like I was saying, just pull it out of the box, get it going. If you have never foiled before and it's just sitting there, don't let it sit there. You are going to totally enjoy foiling. It is so much fun. The results are absolutely stunning. Yeah, I'm, like I said, half embarrassed that I let it sit there as long as it did. But I'm so glad that I've jumped in. I've done so many foiling projects, and the more I do it, the better I get at it. All right, then we're going to pull in our last stencil, and we'll just blend on that darker green. And when I pull this away and show it up close to you, you're going to be like, yeah, that's really pretty, because it is. This stencil set is just awesome. Oh, I love it. Check it out. And that shine. Yeah, baby. Love it. All right, this next one, I purposefully foiled it off the page a little bit. I meant for the bottom to foil, but for whatever reason, I don't know. I didn't do that right, but it's fine. We are going to trim it down. I am going to mask off this side, and this first time I should have masked the top as well. I learned that pretty quickly, and so I will bring in a mask for it later. But we're going to bring in some pinks, and yeah, as you can see, I went over the greenery by mistake because I wasn't paying attention, and so we'll fix that here as well. When you mix the pink with the green, it just makes that leaf look a little bit more brown, which is okay. I don't mind that. Just have to be more mindful. But like I said, we're going to trim this one down. I wanted it to be off the side a little bit. And for that one, I used the Emerald Facets foil. That one's a very pretty green that has some just different elements to it to give it more texture, I guess. Yeah, you can see that pink at the top. I will use a sanding eraser to get rid of that. And I actually do a pretty good job of getting rid of it for the most part. But we will bring in some more masking tape for this next go. Again, we're on to just the petals, and I'm using just pinks, and I'm using all the pinks that I have in my Simon Hurley Create line, going from lightest all the way up to the darkest. And I love how this one ends up turning out too, especially with that green foiling on the background. And the green on green is really pretty. Obviously, you could use your alcohol markers when coloring with the foil as well. That's a pretty look, but since we have the stencils, we might as well use the stencils. I just love it. I wish I'd have done a blue one. I guess that'll be the next one I do, would be a blue one, because blue flowers would be really pretty too. And with that Curved Everyday Sentiments set, there's so many great sentiments in there. I have, since I foiled them both with the green and the gold or the polished brass, I have a bunch of sentiments, so I'll be using those on future projects. I'm so happy I did that. All right, we're going to use the green again for our stems, and for the centers of those flowers, we're going to pull in one of the yellows. I just love how pretty these are. I could make these all day. Put on a nice audio book or play some of my favorite friends from YouTube in the background and just stencil away till my little heart's content. It just makes me so happy. And then when you pull on, put it up in the light with that shiny foil, oh my goodness, it is a sight to behold. I won't show you the full process of making all the cards, or all the 2 cards, just because I wanted the focus to mostly be on the stenciling this time around. And also we didn't get the foiling in there, so, we'll just use what we got. But check it out. So pretty. And then with that foiling, oh. So I've trimmed those down now. They're ready to go, ready to be put on some card panels. And they're both going to go on 5x7s. And then we'll pull out some sentiments that we want to use. I grabbed for the happy couple for this yellow one. And then I'm using Sending Prayers for this one. And I'm going to use a pink background for our pink flowers and a yellow background for our yellow flowers. We'll attach that down to a 5x7 card base. And then I am going to bring in some transparent sparkle enamel dots to embellish these. But we're going to put some foam tape on the back of the sentiments so they'll stand out a little bit more. It's just a smaller foam tape. It's a little bit thick, but it doesn't pose a problem when you put it through the mail. But that's the finished cards. I do love how these turned out. I'm going to have all the products linked down below in the description box. Be sure to leave a comment down below telling me what you think. Is this, have you delved into foiling yet? Or is it still sitting on your floor? Or are you just like, I don't need one more thing? I would love to know what you think. So go ahead and leave that down in the comment section. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done that. And big thanks for all that you guys do to support me. I will see you soon in another video. Bye everybody.